KC, we run the ring, we run the yard, we run it all. Kansas, what you screaming out? KC, we run the ring, we run the yard, we run it all. Kansas, what you screaming out? What you screaming out? What you talking about? What you screaming about? Fight KC, everybody say, fight KC, come on, fight KC, what you screaming out? Fight KC, what you talking about? Fight KC, come on, fight KC. What you talking about?
Welcome, wrestling fans, to NWL Kansas City. I am Ben Miller, sitting ringside with Christopher Fulton. And Christopher, we have a jam-packed hour for all the wrestling fans at home, and we're starting off with the Swoll Patrol, Max Edwards, taking on Gil Rogers.
Are you ready to get buff? Are you ready to get swole? Because here comes Max Edwards. He's going to whip you into shape, that's for sure.
Max Edwards not being accompanied by his tag team partner Flex Zerba today. Flex Zerba reportedly is competing in a bodybuilding competition in San Diego where he's taken first place 7 years in a row.
Wow.
So Max Edwards is going out there alone.
I believe it. I believe that Flex Zerba, he's probably won bodybuilding, powerlifting, CrossFit competitions, all of it, just like all of these guys. Look at that. Can you do that? You can't do that.
I definitely can. And Max Edwards showing everybody in the Scottish Rite Temple why he's part of the Swoll Patrol.
Look at that ridiculous suit that Don Diablo's wearing. Can you believe that? You probably shopped together.
And here comes everybody's favorite. Little kids, grandparents, everybody loves Gil Rogers.
Well, everybody but me. This guy, I got to say this. Gil Rogers, he's always smiling. What does he have to smile about?
Gil Rogers is excited about the thrill of competition. The thrill of victory is what gets this man up in the morning. That's why he's always smiling. He loves being a professional wrestler.
Well, I got to say, a positive attitude will take you a lot of places, but I don't think it's going to take you past Max Edwards, and we're going to find that out here right now.
Last time out here in the Scottish Rite Temple, Gil Rogers was on the losing end of the equation against Max Edwards' tag team partner Flex Zerba. Flex did use some questionable tactics there in the match.
Listen, I didn't see anything questionable about that. You sign up and you take your chances. Gil Rogers came up short on that one. I think he's probably going to come up short here as well. Look at the shape, look at the size of Max Edwards. The guy's really been hitting it hard for sure.
Nick Chin asking for the bell, and we are underway here in our opening contest at the Scottish Rite Temple and NWL KC's second show. Looks like a sign of sportsmanship here between Max Edwards and Gil Rogers. Max Edwards extending the hand. I would not shake that hand if I were Gil Rogers.
Why not?
Especially after the tactics that both of the Swoll Patrol members used last time. And Gil Rogers firing away with a series of forearms to the face.
It's supposed to be a wrestling match, and he's already starting to throw those forearms before they even locked up.
Gil Rogers nicely executed dropkick to the face of Max Edwards, going for a quick pin here. Only gets a 1 count.
You know, I will say this about Mr. Smiley McSmileson there. He is a great wrestler. He's a guy who doesn't get his due. I don't ever call this guy an underdog because he moves just like that, as a matter of fact.
Hard body slam right to the center of the ring. Gil Rogers, a veteran of our great sport, but the problem with Gil is that the big wins have always seemed to elude him. He's always just come up just a little short when grabbing that brass ring in professional wrestling.
Well, you know, that's how it is. Sometimes people, they're good, but they're just not good enough. But he's in firm control right now.
Max Edwards dumping Gil Rogers back into the corner. Speaking of those questionable tactics I referred to earlier, choking the man in the turnbuckle. Nick Chin has got to get in there and make sure that they break it up before that 5 count.
Yeah, absolutely. Right on top of the action there with Nick Chin. Good, solid count there. Unlike some of the other referees I've seen here, maybe their counts are a little fast because they're biased for their favorite wrestlers. I've seen that, and you can't talk me out of it. I see it all the time.
2 hard knife-edge chops by Gil Rogers to the chest of Max Edwards. Hip toss takeover. Gil going for a cover again. One thing you'll notice about Gil Rogers is because he's such an experienced veteran of our great sport, he's always going to look for that opening. He's always going to be looking for that pin.
Never waste an opportunity to get that 2-3 count. Sometimes you never know when it might happen. Look at that. You want to talk about Swoll, talk about power. Rolls all the way through with the high cross body and picks him right up.
Almost lifted him up into a fireman's carry. Now he's got the fireman's carry. What strength on display by Max Edwards.
Power.
Belly to back suplex by Gil Rogers right in the center of the ring here. Going for a cover once again. 1-2. Nick Chin right on top of the action. Only gets a 2 count.
Gil Rogers started his wrestling career with wrestling legend Les Thatcher, man who has trained a ton of champions. You can certainly see the training paying off right there. Uh-oh, looks like a monkey. No!
Oh, drops him face first right in the turnbuckle. Does Max Edwards to Gil Rogers. That'll put an end to Gil Rogers' momentum here.
Thank
Short
you
arm
very much,
clothesline.
Max Edwards. Now maybe I don't have to see that idiot smile so much because he's worried about his chiclets getting knocked out right there on the top turnbuckle.
Nice short arm clothesline by Max Edwards. And he's firing rights into the top of the head of Gil Rogers. That short arm clothesline was reminiscent of one Jake the Snake Roberts and just as nicely executed.
Max Edwards, you know, he talks about lifting, he talks about working out, but one thing that this guy does very, very well, he's a great wrestler, and he's always in fantastic shape, very, very strong, and he's really taken it to old Smiley McSmilerson. Or what did I call him before?
Smiley McSmilerson.
There we go, yeah, that's it. He smiles a lot, I don't like it.
Nice suplex right in the center of the ring. Max going for a cover, gets a 2 count on Gil Rogers. Now one has to wonder, the last time Gil was locked in the ring there with the other half of the Swoll Patrol, Flex Zerba, is Max Edwards going to reach into his bag of tricks and try to pull one over on Gil Rogers?
Well, I don't see why he wouldn't. Gil's kind of stupid. He's an easy guy to pull something over on. And
now, Gil is not stupid. You know, Christopher, he's just a happy guy, and I don't think you like anybody who's happy.
No, I don't like you, and I don't like him. If you're both happy, then maybe you're right.
Lifter uppercut there by Max Edwards going after Gil Rogers. Love the action here in the NWL KC. And if you like what you're seeing, too, you can go to, oh, look at that, the sign of strength there, doing a little bench press there on the top rope, showing everybody why he's so swole.
You know, I bet this is probably the 6th or 7th time maybe that Max Edwards has worked out today. You know, this guy is always in the gym, always working out, and this is a light workout for him here with Gil Rogers, I think.
Gil Rogers slamming his head into that turnbuckle, going across the ring, slamming his head into the other one. Going back to the original turnbuckle, Gil Rogers looking to hip toss him into the ring, and Max Edwards puts the brakes on and clotheslines Gil Rogers for his efforts. Like I was saying earlier, if you like the action you're seeing here, you can go look at everything that we do at nwleague.com.
That's a
going
freak
for
out.
a cover.
Almost had him there.
You see that? He put his feet on the ropes.
I was actually looking at the shoulders, just like the referee is supposed to do, so I didn't see anything questionable there. Great job by Nick Chin.
You seem to miss all of the questionable tactics that some of our guys are. Oh, sternum first, hard right into that turnbuckle.
Did you see how the turnbuckle moved when his chest hit it? That got to be leaving a mark on the chest of Gil Rogers.
Tying him up here in the Trio Woe, stomping in the midsection, and putting a little.
I love it when he does this. This is fantastic.
Absolutely ridiculous. Max Edwards needs to stay on Gil Rogers.
Not only is he going to beat him, he's going to humiliate him right there and tell him, you know what, you're just my warm-up, Gil Rogers.
Gil Rogers puts a foot up right into the chest of Max Edwards, gets himself out of the Tree of Woe there in the corner. Gil Rogers needs to mount some offense if he expects to pick up his first win.
Beautiful swinging neck breaker right there.
That was a beautiful swinging neck breaker. Gil Rogers needs to pick up an important win here because he's already 0-1, and if he expects to do any damage in the KC title tournament, monkey flip right out of the corner. I haven't seen that in a couple of years. Nicely executed by Gil Rogers, a veteran of our sport. Fans solidly behind Gil Rogers here in the Scottish Rite Temple. Hip toss takeover takes Max Edwards over.
One of the great things about Gil Rogers, and I will give him this, his fundamentals are as solid as anybody there is anywhere. You don't see him do a lot of fancy things, but everything he does is very, very effective, and just like that half backdrop there.
Gil Rogers looks like he might be going for a butterfly suplex here.
Got it.
connected, just deadlifts Max Edwards over. Awesome display of strength by Gil Rogers.
Got him right where he wants him right now, going up to the top rope. Possibly, this could be the end of the match now.
He stumbled a little bit there trying to mount the top rope. Gil needs to get up there a little bit quicker. He looks like he's up. Nice cross body block. Going for a cover. This could be it. 2. Only gets a 2 count. That was 2 3/4. Very, very close. Almost picking up the win is Gil Rogers.
You know, if he wouldn't have had that half stumble there, possibly could have got the 3 count. Again, this just sort of goes with this guy's MO. Anything bad that can happen sometimes definitely does. Did you see that? Gil Rogers spitting at Max Edwards.
Max Edwards spitting at Gil Rogers.
Had to retaliate because of all these cheap tactics.
How dare you accuse the sportsman of Gil Rogers of doing anything cheap?
Oh, he's being very sportsmanlike right there. Won't
This
let the
guy
man out of
follows
the corner.
the rules to a T, Christopher. You know that. Stomp to the midsection. Nick Chin trying to restore some order. Takes a little spill there trying to get... Oh, and a weight right to the stomach. Max Edwards picked up his weight at ringside and slams to the stomach of Gil Rogers, and that's it. 1, 2, 3. Max Edwards picks up the victory against Gil Rogers, again with questionable tactics.
Well, that's what you get. You want to spit and insult the Swoll Patrol? Well, it looks like Max Edwards is on the winning track in singles competition. Both these guys, him and his partner Flex Zerba, great singles wrestlers, great tag wrestlers as well, picks up another victory. And Gil Rogers, well, he's just hanging out there with another L.
One has to wonder what's going to happen to Gil Rogers now. He's got 2 losses. It's not starting off very good here in the National Wrestling League, but Gil's a fighter, and he'll be back to fight another day. And maybe this time he can pick up a victory next time he's in the Scottish Rite Temple. And with that, folks, we'll be right back here on the National Wrestling League, Kansas City.
Whoop. Hold up, cowboy. Saw your match with Ken Dharma. That didn't go as planned, did it? It's all right. It's all right. It happens. It happens. You're young. Don't worry about it. I just want to give you a little bit of advice, okay? Something to keep in the back of your head next time you're out there, all right? Be aggressive. Aggression is key. Aggression gets the W. And if you're not getting the W, you're nothing but a loser.
Look, man, I've been playing pro football for a long time. I know something about aggression. Get out of my way.
Are you guys ready for some more wrestling out here tonight?
Welcome back, wrestling fans, to the Scottish Rite Temple in downtown Kansas City, Missouri. And we have a tag team attraction here for you tonight. The Mancini brothers are making their way to the ring.
One thing I like about the Mancini brothers is that they're all about family. These two guys bicker back and forth, but when it comes right down to it, it's them against the entire world. And these guys, I expect some big things from the Mancinis.
Big things. I don't think you meant it the way it sounded. They come to the ring with pizza, for God's sakes, Christopher, but you cannot take away from the fact that these guys are accomplished tag team wrestlers, and they're brothers, so that's already an inbuilt relationship right there.
If you know anything about training, you know that these guys probably got advice from the Swoll Patrol. You got to carb up, and that's what they're doing before their match, or making sure they have enough energy to keep up with a high-intensity team like the End.
When you were wrestling, did you eat a lot of pizza before you came to the ring? I don't think so.
We're not talking about me. We're talking about the Mancinis. What works for them might not work for everybody, but it's certainly, I think it's going to work here tonight. I could go for a slice of pizza.
One thing that didn't work for the Mancinis last time was their miscue that led to them losing their first match here in the Scottish Rite Temple against the Union of Mac and Joe. Hopefully they fare better against their opponents here tonight.
You know, every time you face the Union, you got to worry about the fact that they smell so bad. I mean, these guys spend their lives sweating in those nasty jumpsuits. Yeah, it's probably threw them off. I would imagine it probably did. There's lots of things against these guys in that match.
And here comes their opponents for the evening. Luke Holliday and Kyle Mars, the End, are making their way into the Scottish Rite Temple, and it's their debut here tonight.
These two guys, I tell you, I've seen them all around the country. They are, well, they're kind of goofy. Look at that. They're startled by their own partner sometimes.
These guys have been around for quite a long time, as you were saying, Christopher, but then they kind of went off the grid. they disappeared for a little bit. They went underground, if you will, and decided that they needed to prepare themselves for something forthcoming. And they're never quite specific on it when they're on their social media accounts, but they say that they're just trying to help people. They're trying to help people prepare.
Maybe these guys are preparing for the end of the world. I'll tell you, if they keep mouthing off to the Mancinis and standing across big teams like that, they may very well see the end very, very soon, for sure. Look at that. Look at those two idiots. Something about these guys I just don't like.
They come to the ring with a sense of frenetic energy that the fans here in the Scottish Rite Temple seem to be connecting with. But at the same time, they put off this energy like they're rattled. They don't know what to do. But I guarantee you, as soon as that bell rings, they know exactly what to do against the Mancinis.
Very, very accomplished wrestlers, very quick. As you see Kyle Mars there with a side headlock to start things off. That's good. They're going to have to rely on their speed, that's for sure.
Kyle Mars in there with, I believe that's Gino Mancini.
Sure.
Gino Mancini, the larger of the two Mancini brothers. Nice drop kick there. Kind of shakes up Gino Mancini a little bit. Side headlock there by Kyle Mars.
These two guys are tough guys. The guys I'm talking about, the Mancinis, definitely tough guys. They, they make their living sometimes. They have to not be so nice, just like he's being new to Kyle Mars right now. I'm expecting they're going to see a lot of that in this matchup.
Nice drop kick again to the cheek of Gino Mancini, and he hasn't even left his feet yet. Kyle Mars going for another drop kick and misses. Gino goes for an elbow and misses, and tag in to his partner, Luke Holliday. Double drop kick. Gino still hasn't left his feet. Rudy gets taken down and a basement drop kick there. Nice double team work by the end.
That's the kind of things that these guys are going to have to do to get a win over the Mancinis. You always got to stay one step ahead of them. The Mancinis, I don't know if you know this, both very, very smart individuals. That's going to be tough to do.
Very smart. I'd not heard that descriptive word used about the Mancinis, but
they're pretty smart.
Double knee strike there by the end. Going for a cover. This could be it. 1-2. It's a 2 count. Big Gino finally left his feet after that double knee strike by the end.
It's one thing to get these guys down and get them off their feet. It's another thing to keep them down. That is for sure. Blind tag. Did you see that?
Total elimination connects right with the face of. This could be it too. Only gets a 2 count. That total elimination connected squarely with the face of Gino Mancini and took the big man right off his feet.
I'll tell you, the brothers don't seem to be on the same page tonight. I don't know what's going on with them. Maybe there's a little family squabble or something, but they certainly seem to be a little bit off their game. Maybe that's all contributing to the success of the end.
Double knife edge chops there by the end. These Mancini brothers, if they expect to be considered in the Kansas City Tag Team Title Tournament picture, they need to get on the same page. They need to act like brothers, because too many more miscues and they could be picking up another loss here tonight at the hands of the end.
Well, you certainly can't. Ooh. A beautiful maneuver right there.
Driving him back first right there on the apron.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Taking all the wind out of Kyle Mars. Luke Holliday seems to be upset by it. Gino going for a cover here. This could be it. Only gets a 2 count.
Just as we're ready to count these guys out, they pull out a great maneuver right there. Now they're going to show you why they really are one of the best tag teams in the world, and certainly one of the best here in Kansas City in the NWL. Good tag right there. Legal, perfectly legal, right in front of the referee.
Rudy Mancini coming into the ring. Big double suplex connects with Kyle Mars. Going for a cover here. 2. Only get a 2 count. Rudy Mancini seems to think that should have been a 3.
I got to say, I agree with him. That referee Todd Countryman a little slow on the count right there, I think. This match probably should be over.
The Mancini brothers always talk, hard strike right to the solar plexus there of Kyle Mars. The Mancini brothers always talking about trying to take care of family business. Now, that business is unspecified, but we'll leave that to your imagination what they're taking care of.
It's their business. What their business is, not yours, and it's not mine. I don't ask questions that I don't necessarily want to know the answers to.
Slamming him hard back first into the turnbuckle. Both of the Mancini brothers using their double team expertise here to try to take Kyle Mars out of the match. Drops an elbow right into the trapezius muscle. going for the cover. 1, 2. Only gets a 2 count.
This wacko Kyle Mars, he doesn't even know where he is right now. More so than normal.
Punch right to the midsection. Those may not look like they have a lot of pepper on them, but when you got that much weight like Gino Mancini, those shots hurt.
These guys aren't pretty at all by any stretch of the imagination, but they certainly are effective. Not a lot of wasted motion there with the Mancinis, and you're right. It's like getting hit with a couple of hams every time he throws a punch at you.
The end haven't been able to quite get out of the starting gate here, it seems like, against the much larger Mancini brothers, and they're going to need to use their quickness to gain a victory here tonight against the Mancinis. Mancinis are firing all cylinders. Back senton crushes Kyle Mars into the center of the ring. Only gets a 2 count, though. Did you see that weight just drop down across the chest of Kyle Mars? He needs to make a tag to Luke Holliday.
He's got to make a tag in the worst way. Beautiful double team maneuver right there. I tell you, I'm a fan of tag team wrestling, and these guys are proving to me why I'm such a big fan.
Oh,
beautiful move by Kyle Mars.
Looks like he turned that into a neck breaker, floated out of that suplex, turned it into a neck breaker, and he needs to make the tag to Luke Holliday here.
If he doesn't make the tag now, this match could be over very, very shortly.
Gino coming into the ring after Rudy Mancini makes a tag. He cuts off Kyle Mars. Kyle Mars flips out of that belly-to-back attempt, crawls through the legs, makes the tag to Luke Holliday. Luke Holliday coming in the ring now. He's got to use his quickness. Kicks Rudy off the edge of the ring. Now he's going after Gino. Nice enziguri there by Luke Holliday.
Right in the back of the head. Oh, no, he's going to take him up. No, yeah.
Trying to pick him up in a Saito suplex, and that did not work out in the favor of Luke Holliday. Luke Holliday looks like he's going for a stunner. Gino pushes him off the rope, shoots him off the far side. Nice knee strike there by Luke Holliday, telling Kyle Mars he needs to get back up to his feet so they can double team Gino Mancini.
Got him right in the button on that one. A couple of good kicks right there, knee strikes.
Showing their striking prowess there, and a kick into a cutter. They're going for a pin here too, and Rudy's in to break it up, saving his brother Gino.
Absolutely. Well, Rudy just trying to follow the rules since referee Todd Countryman just seems to be letting everything go here in this matchup.
Knees him right to the stomach there. Looks like Gino and Rudy Mancini have Luke Holliday isolated here. I mean, the referee needs to be putting a count on these guys, making sure they're not staying over that 5 count. Oh, the Mancinis with a miscue run right into each other. Going for a roll-up, 2, 3, and that's it. The end pick up a much-needed victory here tonight in the Scottish Rite Temple, and I would say that was almost an upset over the more established Mancini brothers.
You absolutely got to think that is an upset right there for the end. It's a big, big win for these guys. I expect that they're going to be doing some big things here in the NWL. How do they fare against the Royal Blood? How do they fare against the Howlets? I guess we will see, but they start off 1-0 here in the NWL KC. Mancini's fallen to 0-2.
Yeah, Mancini's really need to stop, get on the same page, stop having those miscues, and for the end, they're going back to the bunker, celebrating their victory 1-0 here in their debut in the National Wrestling League. Welcome back, wrestling fans, to the National Wrestling League Kansas City. We have a singles match lined up for all of you here at home. Devlin is making his way to the ring right now.
Devlin, a guy I really, really like. You know, a lot of people these days are fake. Devlin, a guy who tells it like it is. He's got something on his mind, and he's going to let you know about it. Sometimes it's not always positive and roses and puppy dogs. This guy lives in the real world. Really talented wrestler as well. I like him. I expect big things from Devlin, especially right here tonight.
Christopher, you cannot be serious. We just saw the fact that this man had a suggestion for lockdown Ray Briggs. This is his first time competing in the National Wrestling League, and he has the nerve to go up to Ray Briggs and suggest that he be more aggressive. Well, this guy is he likes to stir the pot.
Did he give him bad advice? Is that bad advice to be more aggressive in a contact sport? I don't think it is. I think that you don't know anything about what you're talking about. You ever gotten into a real fight in your entire life? No, I don't think you have. Devlin has. He's going to show you how tough he is right now. So I think it's great advice.
Well, if Devlin is tough, if he does have the right amount of aggression as he tried to tell Ray Briggs to have, he's going to need all of that and then some with this guy coming to the ring right now, Lakota Red Cloud.
This guy is absolutely a mountain of a man. Very, very powerful young man indeed. Certainly proud of his heritage. He's a fighter. He's a tough guy. It's going to be a tall order, but I think Devlin is definitely up to it. Why? Because he's probably just a little bit, well, actually a whole lot smarter than Lakota Red Cloud.
Lakota Red Cloud, very proud of his heritage, says he channels the power of his ancestors in order to help him persevere not only in life but in wrestling matches as well. And Lakota is probably one of the strongest athletes here on the Kansas City roster.
Absolutely, one of the strongest guys probably anywhere you're going to find. You know, that's what people do that aren't very intelligent. They channel inspiration from other sources because they don't have the confidence that a guy like Devlin has. I'm a big Devlin fan, and you're going to see why here in this match. I'm looking for big things from Mr. Devlin.
And the bell sounds, and we are underway here in our second contest of the evening. Lakota Red Cloud and Devlin. Collar and elbow tie up here. Nick Chin, the referee for this action. And look at that. Devlin just almost broke the collar and elbow tie up and maybe felt the power of Red Cloud and didn't want any part of it.
Listen, you're going to try to lock up with a guy like that. You're going to feel how strong he is. Devlin's a smart guy, saying this is probably not the best way to go about it. Hey, there you go. Smart guy.
So for a man that was telling Lockdown Ray Briggs to have a lot of aggression or a lot more aggression if he wants to win, Devlin not showing that aggression here today. He's not even wanting to lock up with the big Lakota Red Cloud.
Listen, it's all a part of the plan. He's sucking the big guy in. He's got to play. You're not going to go toe-to-toe with a big guy like that. See, there you go. Side headlock.
There's other ways to be more aggressive than a side headlock, and he just ran into the brick wall that's known as Lakota, and he wants nothing to do with that. Did you see the way he just almost bounced off the big Red Cloud?
Didn't move him an inch, that's for sure. Devlin might have to be doing a little rethinking of his strategy, but I know that he is up to the task for sure.
You seem to be a big fan of Devlin. I have to question that, Chris. I have to question, is it because you say he tells the truth all the time? This is his first appearance. Oh, stomp right on the foot there.
It's because of things just like that. That's what a smart guy does.
Gets thrown off of the side headlock and again runs into the brick wall that is Lakota Red Cloud. Devlin needs to change his offense. Oh, huge inverted atomic drop there. Probably sent his spine out through the top of his head there.
He could have broke his tailbone. Nice, see, beautiful move though. Sucker the big guy in.
Ooh, basement drop kick right to the face. Rolling him over, going for a cover here. One. Only gets a one count.
A little too early for a 3 count on the big man for sure.
Locking in a rear chin lock here. Referee Nick Chin, checking in on the action here, trying to zap some of that energy from Lakota Red Cloud, really clamping down on the the chin and neck region, trying to stop the flow of blood to his brain.
Say what you want about Devlin. You may not like how he does business, but look at the guy's solid fundamentals right there. Definitely had all the leverage going on to the big man right there. One thing about a big guy.
Oh, it's a gurry. He hits him hard right in the back of the head there.
As big as the big guy is, he's got to carry all that weight around, and that's going to take its toll on the big guy, and certainly having Devlin's body weight on him right now, not doing him any favors either.
Devlin is definitely adjusting his game plan here, trying to make Lakota Red Cloud carry all of his weight, even if he's just 200 pounds. A man carrying all of your weight, another man's weight, with that sleeper hold locked in, is going to zap the energy from you.
Lakota back up to his feet.
Ramming Devlin back first into those turnbuckles. Goes for another one. Speaking of using all your weight, Lakota using his weight against Devlin right now.
See, now this is something that Ray Briggs should be paying attention to. Hey, lockdown, watch this. You want to see how a real competitor wins?
Oh, that was a very smart idea. Hard forearms to the back of Lakota. Back rake there.
Didn't seem to have much effect, did it?
Looking like Lakota is having none of this offense from Devlin, and now Devlin might be in for it from the big Red Cloud. Tomahawk chop right to the top of the head. Going for another one right across the chest. Lakota Red Cloud's on fire. A jumping tomahawk chop right to the top of the head, and Devlin has no clue where he is. Jumping leg drop, showing the agility of Red Cloud. This could be it, too.
Would you call that a Superman chop, since he jumped in the air with it? Maybe you would. Maybe you'd, I don't know what you'd call that.
I
But that
just
was
call it a
fantastic.
jumping tomahawk chop because that's exactly what it was.
Listen, I'm trying to make us money. I'm trying to get you and I to have phrases that are coined, that are unique to us, and you're screwing things up here.
Looks like Lakota's going for the bow and arrow and sits out. Oh, kick right to the side of the head. Devlin smartly hits a meteor right across the chest. This could be it. 1, 2. Gets a 2 count. That was very smart. He countered one of Lakota's finishing moves, which is the bow and arrow slam, and turned it against Red Cloud there.
This guy's got a lot of knowledge. He knows his opponents. He's always, checking them out on YouTube, checking them out wherever he can see footage of his opponents, and it certainly paid off for him right there, going up to the top rope. Is he going to the top? Is he going to the second? It looks like he's going all the way up to the top.
Looks like he's going all the way up to the top.
Uh-oh.
It takes a little too much time,
Not too
and
good.
Lakota's there to meet him. He's got that big ham hock hand wrapped right around the throat of Devlin, and it looks like he's going to be throwing him off the top and right into the center of the ring. Devlin seems unfazed by it and gets hit with a shoulder block like a giant red missile coming at Devlin.
Every time you get hit by Lakota Red Cloud, it's like being in a car accident. This
And
guy
here it is,
massive.
the rewind power slam. He covers it. This could be it. And 3. And Lakota Red Cloud picks up a victory over your favorite wrestler, Devlin.
I didn't say he was my favorite. I will say this for Red Cloud. Even though he's kind of a dope, if he hits anybody, and I mean anybody in Kansas City with that big power slam, nobody's getting up. And you're going to see the Kansas City champion right there.
One has to wonder when you're thinking about the upcoming title tournament, is Red Cloud going to be one of the favorites going forward and winning the entire thing?
I'll tell you what, if he makes the tournament, he's got to be a favorite. This guy is impressive. He is strong. He's tough. And yeah, I think he's a little dumb too.
Lakota Red Cloud is now 2-0 here in the National Wrestling League. And with that, we'll be right back. It's main event time here in the Scottish Rite Temple in downtown Kansas City, and we've got one heck of a main event. The Monarch, Jeremy Wyatt, is making his way to the ring.
Jeremy Wyatt, premier wrestling talent, that is for sure, and he's got that man, his angel on his shoulder, Michael Strider.
Angel on his shoulder. You have got to be kidding me, Christopher. Jeremy Wyatt turned his back on his devoted fan base here in Kansas City and sided with the devil in Michael Strider.
Listen, sometimes it's nice to have a lot of friends, and then sometimes you realize, hey, those people aren't paying my bills, so I'm going to do what it takes to take care of myself. That's the real world. That's what grown-ups do. What's your name, Benjamin? Ben. Well, Ben, that's what real men do. They take care of their own, and that's exactly what Michael Strider is providing for Jeremy Wyatt. Does he need advice? No, he doesn't, but he knows that with the two of them together, there is no stopping him, and I expect big things from this guy in the Kansas City tournament.
Earlier this evening, Michael Strider making his presence felt during a Major Bayston presentation, saying that Jeremy Wyatt needed to be a higher seed in our Kansas City title tournament and demanded that the Monarch, Jeremy Wyatt, be treated with the respect that he deserves. So Major Bayston, in his infinite wisdom, decided to make the match between Jeremy Wyatt and the man coming to the ring right now, Thor Theriot.
Well, who does Major Bayston think that he is by just deciding to place people in seeds? Well, certainly we know that there's been corruption with the NCAA and their seeding and all of these things, and I wouldn't put it past Major Bayston trying to get Michael Strider and Jeremy Wyatt out of the tournament by giving them a worse seed so that maybe they have a tough go of things instead of giving them what they have earned, and that would be a #1 seed. And I think they're going to make quick work of Mr. Thor Theriot.
Thor Theriot making his entrance here into the Scottish Rite Temple. He is loved here since his debut. This guy is all character, all personality, and when that switch flips, he may put it in to the Monarch Jeremy Wyatt right here tonight.
Listen, Thor is in great shape. He's strong, he's young, he's very, very athletic, but one thing that he is not Jeremy Wyatt, and he is not Michael Strider, and I think in the end that is going to be the difference.
We have to make it clear to the wrestling fans watching this match right now that this is not the tournament match that will happen next time we're here in the Scottish Rite Temple. This is almost a warm-up match, and the psychological implications on their next match that is in the title tournament, I mean, this could shift the tide of that next match.
Listen. This is exactly what it is. Let's call it what it is, and that is Major Baisden. He has got a personal grudge against Michael Strider and Jeremy Wyatt. He knew he couldn't start the tournament tonight, but he wanted to give Thor Theriot a little one-upsman to maybe give him a chance to recruit and find out what Jeremy Wyatt is all about. I see right through it. Major, you're not fooling anybody. You want Wyatt and Strider gone? Well, you're going to have to try a little harder than that.
Both men exchanging slaps to the face here. Jeremy Wyatt misses a clothesline, gets taken over with an arm drag. Nicely executed by Thor Theriot here in the Scottish Rite Temple in tonight's main event. Now, I will say Jeremy Wyatt is an accomplished wrestler, so Thor Theriot has got to come in with a pretty solid game plan to get one over here on Jeremy Wyatt.
Absolutely, and do you think that he has it? Do you think that he is going to think of something that Michael Strider...
Standing dropkick, did you see that?
I saw it, I'm looking right at the ring. Why wouldn't I have seen that?
Going for a cover here. Thor Theriot showing his excellent athleticism with a beautiful standing dropkick.
You want to talk about game plans and you want to say all of those things. Do you think that Thor has honestly thought of something that Michael Strider and Jeremy Wyatt have not? I don't think he's got it in him.
Nice reverse elbow there by Thor Theriot. Looks like he's going to the second rope. High cross body, going for an early victory here. Only gets a 2 count on the Monarch, and the Monarch needs to take a little bit of a timeout.
Wisely rolls out of the ring. That's exactly what a veteran would do.
Thor Theriot staying on the attack. He gets his neck snap down over that second rope. Smart move by the veteran Jeremy Wyatt. Look at him just almost slithering into the ring. Nice 360 neck breaker. Going for a cover here. 2. Only gets a 2 count, but really wrenching that neck down over that second rope. And no matter how muscly your neck is, that's going to have its effect.
That's absolutely right. This guy is a precision expert. He knows exactly the right spots to hit, the right spots to hurt. He doesn't no wasted motion. Now, let me tell you something about Jeremy Wyatt. This is a guy who has always been in fantastic shape. But have you noticed, since he signed his contract to be here in the NWL and how he looks right now, the guy has dropped weight. He's in better shape than he's ever been. That tells me that this guy is taking things very, very seriously, and that means a lot of trouble for everybody here in the NWL. If that means Thor Theriot, yeah, I think Jeremy Wyatt's got your number. Look at that
strike to the face. One thing we can't discount either is the fact that Jeremy Wyatt, since signing with the National Wrestling, has decided to use the pile driver as his finishing move. And we all know that the pile driver is one of the most devastating moves in the history of professional wrestling. And I don't care who you are, if he lands that on Thor tonight, he's going to pick up the victory.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you pick a move that can put out just about every man in an instant, right? Wyatt certainly is a guy that has great execution on everything that he does, and certainly it's going to be an effective move, and I think that there isn't many counters for the pile driver.
Rake of the eyes there, Jeremy Wyatt dipping into that rule book that he abides by, which may not be the actual rule book that we should be abiding by, but either way, he's trying to get it done here against Thor Theriot, really wrenching that neck, trying to go for a neck breaker here. Thor Theriot trying to roll him up into schoolboy. He's got him down, 1-2, only gets a 2 count. Thor Theriot gets met with a back elbow. That crafty Jeremy Wyatt.
That was an O'Connor roll, and Wyatt had the perfect counter for it, hanging onto the ropes, and look where he's right back on top, and Thor is going to pay for that.
What did I call it? I call it a schoolboy?
You called it a schoolboy.
Oh, well.
That's an O'Connor roll, named after Pat O'Connor. Do we have to start having class before we take the air? Because I'll do it. I'll teach you what you need to know.
I'm even entitled to miss a move here and there. I usually stay on top of it. Give me a break, Christopher. Jeez.
I will give you a break right across your jaw. How about that?
Jeremy Wyatt locking in a rear chin lock here. Back to the action on the National Wrestling League. Theriot throwing a couple of nice right hands into the midsection of Jeremy Wyatt. Jeremy Wyatt using the hair and dragging Theriot back down into the center of the ring, really staying on top of the young man. Going for a cover here, gets a 2 count. Referee Nick Chin right on top of the action.
You know, they always talk about Thor being a man of action. He doesn't have a lot of words to say, but it looks like after this assault on his neck and his chin and upper extremities, I don't think he's going to be able to say too much probably tomorrow morning, which is a good thing.
Well, Michael Strider, when he came out here, nice vertical suplex there by Jeremy Wyatt, saying this could be it. Wiping his hands of Theriot, forearm right across the face. Michael Strider came out here earlier, as I was talking about, and interrupted a major Basin PowerPoint, which we all know you don't do. But he said he was complaining about the seed of Jeremy Wyatt. No matter what seed Jeremy Wyatt is in, he is a veteran of this sport. And I would have to say he is not even a dark horse in this tournament. He might be favored to win this tournament outright.
Absolutely. Well, of course he's a favorite, and that's why Major Basin is giving Theriot an opportunity to sort of scout him before the actual tournament match, because he's going to try to give everybody every advantage that they can get against Jeremy Wyatt and Michael Strider. But I'll tell you what, these two guys have been around for a long time. That's not going to faze them.
Theriot getting out of that belly-to-back suplex attempt by Jeremy Wyatt. Jeremy Wyatt goes for a fist and misses and gets hit in the corner. And Theriot firing away with 2 straight forearms to the face of Jeremy Wyatt. Theriot with a head full of steam, drop kick right into the corner. Theriot might have flipped that switch, and when he does, this may be the end of the ball game for Jeremy Wyatt.
Nowhere to go when you take that drop kick in the corner. Nowhere but those feet to go into your chest.
Belly to back suplex right in the center of the ring. This could be it for Jeremy Wyatt too. Gets a 2 count. When you think about the title tournament, Christopher, and their match, when they do meet in that title tournament, what effect is the win and loss record of each one of these combatants going to have into their mental game going into that match?
Well, certainly it always affects your psyche if you've won or lost a match against somebody. It's always playing a part in what you do, and the true champions make sure that they get past that. That's for sure.
What is Jeremy Wyatt planning to do here? Belly to back suplex, drops Theriot right on the apron, and that could be a game-changing move here in this match. Theriot looking a little worse for wear here tonight.
Jeremy Wyatt always 1 step, sometimes even 2 steps ahead of his opponent. Theriot and us, we didn't see that coming either. Jeremy Wyatt had it planned all along.
Connects right with the face of Theriot, and Jeremy Wyatt seems very confident right now in this match against Theriot. If he hits this, if he goes for the pile driver and he hits it, this could be lights out.
This is it. He's going for it right now. Perfect setup. Thor might be out on his feet.
Thor backdrops him out.
Hangs
Looks
on.
like Jeremy Wyatt's hanging on, trying to get Thor over. Double stomp right to the chest of Jeremy Wyatt. Theriot needs to stay aggressive and stay on top of Jeremy Wyatt in order to pick up a win here tonight.
Absolutely. Wyatt in a bad way right there. One thing we've seen from Wyatt, though, is his resiliency.
Theriot with a senton bomb right on Jeremy Wyatt, showing his great athleticism there. He could go to the top rope and fly. I've never seen that from him. Going for a cover 2. Jeremy Wyatt gets the left shoulder up just in the nick of time. What athleticism by Theriot
Although
here
that
tonight.
move may have hurt Thor just about as much as it hurt Wyatt. You can see him holding his neck right there. All his weight come crashing down on Wyatt, and it certainly looks like it hurt him as well.
Picking him up in a fireman's carry, could be going for his signature move, the Ragnarok.
Looks like that's what he's going for sure.
And Jeremy Wyatt it looked like hit Nick Chin right in the face.
I think that was purely incidental. Sometimes, things happen. Your arms and limbs are flying around.
Oh, no. He's setting him up for the pile driver here. Spikes his head into the mat. This could be it for Theriot. 1, 2, 3, and that's it. Jeremy Wyatt with the pile driver puts away Theriot here tonight at the Scottish Rite Temple.
Did you see that, Major? Did you see that, Major Basin? Did you see what Michael Strider and Jeremy Wyatt just did to Theriot? So all of your plans about maybe getting a little over on these two gentlemen, well, certainly didn't work out there, did it? it looks like anything that Thor has in mind for these two guys, they have a counter for, as Jeremy Wyatt is ready to enter that championship tournament, looking better than he ever has.
Jeremy Wyatt and Michael Strider celebrating a huge victory here in the Scottish Rite Temple. Now when they face in just a few weeks back here at the Scottish Rite Temple, you have to think, what kind of mental state will Theriot be when they meet again? And will Jeremy Wyatt pick up another victory and move on in the KC title tournament?
Absolutely. Of course he's going to move on in the title tournament. I didn't see anything from Thor there that shows me that he has what it takes to beat Jeremy Wyatt with Michael Strider in his corner.
Thank you for joining us, wrestling fans, here tonight at the Scottish Rite Temple, and we'll see you next time on the National Wrestling League.